Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with our next YouTube class, YouTube number 136. And yes, this is the final release of Simply Refined Dies and Stamps for 2015. It's also the last release of ovals for a little bit. So this is our third release of the year. And if you already have the first two, you're going to want to finish up your collection with this last set, because not only is it beautiful, but of course, since the dies are meant to work together and interchange and overlap, you're not going to want to miss them. I have so much to show you. I'm going to try not to talk too long so we can get started. What I am going to say is that, yes, you may have seen some of these techniques before. Not like this though. Because of the way Simply Refined dies and stamps are manufactured, I want to show you a different way of using them than perhaps what you've seen before. I really love them, and it's very unique to Simply Refined dies and stamps. There's not many other dies that will have the same feature that I'm going to show you, so I'm really excited about that. We have Winner Chicken Dinner to announce. It is a couple days earlier. I'm YouTubing this a few days earlier than normal. Usually I do it like the day of the YouTube being released, but because this has to release on YouTube and Facebook and in our store and online all at the same time, I'm doing this a couple days in advance. So if you follow us on Facebook and you have been playing the sneak peek game where I've been showing you little snippets of everything, I can't tell you if you've won yet. It wouldn't be fair because we haven't even posted the last opportunity for you to win. But in the body of this YouTube, all the writing where I have my little spiel, I will post names of the people who have won this collection, the 4-pack, the last release of 2015 for Simply Refined, and congratulations to you. I'll also post it on Facebook. But I do have YouTube winners from 135, which was last YouTube, where we featured the Seagull embossing folders. And I just love them. I wish that they were my idea. I wish I had come up with it. And even though I didn't, I am so glad somebody did, because they're affordable and useful and creative. And I just thought that they were a home run. If you haven't seen them, go back to 135 and watch it, because the functionality, the availability to mix and match is wonderful, and they are at a price that almost every crafter can afford, and they give you so much for so little. And I'm hoping that's kind of what Simply Refined and Simply Defined, those are my brands by Scrapbooking Made Simple, also do. They give you a lot for your crafting dollar, because everybody has to make dollars go as far as they can. So all of my product is kind of value priced. And the sets you're going to see today are only $14.99 if you buy them in the bundle of the 4-pack. And that includes the stamps. Now, I said I have Winner Chicken Dinner. So from 135, if you are Jolene Lind or Debbie Ebbett, Debbie and Jolene, you're our lucky winners from YouTube 135, and you are going to get a wonderful little prize package filled of the product that we used in that YouTube. How are you going to collect your prizes, girls? It's so simple. Email us, winner, WINNER, at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Give us your name, address, telephone number in the subject line. Tell us you're a winner from YouTube 135, and we will get your prizes out to you just as quickly as possible. How do you become a winner? Get a YouTube login, subscribe to Scrapbooking Made Simple's channel, watch this YouTube in its entirety, because I get bonus points. The longer you watch, the better it is and the higher we're ranked. And then post your comment. Comment can be anything from, I had a really awful day today and I came home and my husband had dinner for me, or and wasn't that just so sweet, it just made me happy, or I can't wait for the holidays to come. Or I just bought a new shade of lipstick and everybody complimented me on it. It doesn't matter what your comment is, as long as it's polite and kind. I will approve it, and then you'll be able to see it, and you go into the running for a prize from Scrapbooking Made Simple. There was one comment, and I feel so bad I don't have her name right here in front of me. It's downstairs, but because I do read them, and I wish I could answer all of your questions. I do, but between The Facebook and YouTube and regular emails, I probably get about 1,500 a day. Oh my gosh. I try to answer as many as I can. If you have a question, email asksms@earthlink.net. Yeah, the girls will either come to me and say, I have this question, can you answer it? And I'll tell them what, how to email it back, or we try to get back to you just as quickly as possible. But this lady had posted, Stacey, make me a winner chicken dinner. My name is easy to pronounce. I thought that was awesome. I'm gonna have to go back and find that comment, and maybe I will just make you a winner chicken dinner, because you had me laughing out loud. And we're a very small, tight group downstairs. There's 5 of us in like 10 square feet, so we're pretty much like this to each other, and they all look at me like, what is she laughing at? I said, this was a good comment. So if that was you who posted that, you tickled my soul. You really did. It was very funny. So Jolene and Debbie, email us. Congratulations on winning a prize. If you haven't won yet, if you don't post, you can't win. So just post a cute little something, just a, hey, hello. I mean, it doesn't have to be long, that's all. Hello, how are you doing? And post, and you're in the running for a prize. All right, what else do I have to tell you? Gosh, I can't think right now. My mind is going, woo. I've got so much focused down here on what I'm gonna show you. I think I'm gonna get started. Again, if you're a Facebook winner from the sneak peeks, you will see it in the body of the YouTube description or on Facebook. And again, this is Simply Refined by Scrapbooking Made Simple. The collection is called Moments, and it is the last oval collection you will see for a while. So if you want to have all 3, get them while you can. We have learned to order more so we don't sell out nearly as fast, and hopefully you're enjoying them as much as I do. All right, I'm gonna tilt down. We're gonna get started for today. Let me move the cards over so at least you have something to look at. Okay, so like I said, this YouTube is being done a few days in advance. So if you're watching this Saturday morning, which is when it releases, I'm downstairs right now doing this make and take with all of our in-store peeps. And I wanted to do a really nice, simple make and take. And we started with this, which is the same die. It's the exact same die set, where we've used the frame die, the decorator die, the oval that comes with it, a stamp. But I thought, you know what, let's add texture to it, because my shimmer paper, my bedazzled shimmer paper is so pretty, and that's what the white is. It's the bedazzled shimmer paper, that instead of actually die cutting out the decorator die, we embossed it. And I have several YouTubes on how to do that, and I will try to get back to that at the end of this YouTube if I remember. But if not, then go back to one of my previous YouTubes and I will show you how to take a die and use it as an embossing folder. And all you need is a squishy and a knock-knock, and those are Sizzix products, the silicone pad and the textured impression pad, the squishy and the knock-knock. And you can do something like this too, where you've added texture versus actually die cutting out. So we're downstairs doing this one right now, unless you're not watching it on Saturday, and then we're not doing it right now. So here is the set that we're going to be working with today. It is Sunshine Vines. There are 4 separate dies to each of the sets, and there's 4 sets in this collection. You have a frame die in every set. Frame die, wafer die. It's called a wafer die because it's really, really thin. The cutting edge is the side that has the ridge. So you have a frame set. You have a decor die that fits inside the frame set. You have an oval die, and all the oval dies we do have a different edge to them. None of them are exactly the same. That way, if you own all of them, they're all slightly different, so you can mix and you can match, because this oval is going to fit with all of your other ovals, and then your small decor die. And that's what makes up one complete set of Simply Refined dies and stamps. Well, where are the stamps? They're right here. Every set comes with 2 stamps. This one says "You Are My Sunshine," and this one we left blank so that you could put your own sentiment in. And again, they fit right in They're beautiful. Everything can be popped and layered, but there is something very unique to my dies, and I want to pull these out so I can bring over the storyboard to show you. Now, Elena has put together a beautiful storyboard for all of the different sets. And again, everything on this storyboard came from just the 4 dies that I showed you. All of this came from 4 dies, all these different combinations, and there's more combinations. We just can't show them all because there's not a piece of paper big enough. She already had to make wings on 12 by 12 to get these in there. So the frame die that I was telling you about is what this die is right here. If you just cut this die, this is what you're going to get. And if you just cut the decor die, this is what you're going to get. Do you see how it doesn't cut out the actual oval? It just cuts the bits and pieces, but it keeps your paper the solid square. If you want something like this, then all you do is put these 2 dies together. And that is how you get the actual oval die cut out. Now again, then there's the centers. You can do the centers all by themselves. You can leave that center solid. You can take that center out. You can just use the ovals on their own. There's so much to be done, but the decor dies for my dies never have an edge on the outside to actually cut that shape out. It cuts that detail into the paper, and that's really important because what I'm going to show you today has a lot to do with that. So I'm going to put that over to the side, and I think I'm going to start with the glitter. We are going to be playing with the Nuvo glitter today. A lot of you purchased it already, and so I wanted to show you another way to use it besides just on the Christmas ornaments that we did. I want to give you some more tools to use because the Nuvo glitter by Tonic is absolutely beautiful. And yes, Tonic is the manufacturer of my Simply Refined dies. So, you know, maybe a little bit of, well, I don't want to call it nepotism because we're not family, but it is a beautiful, beautiful glitter, and I wouldn't bring it in if I didn't think it was just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to start with a single piece of my paper. This is just white cardstock. That's all this is. If you don't have Simply Defined cardstock, it's okay. Use the cardstock you have. It can be cream, it can be white, it can be whatever color you want it to be. You just need a basic piece of cardstock. This is 80 pound. I have 80 pound and 100 pound in white, and of course they're value priced, but again, use what you have first. Because there's nothing worse than having products sit there and sit there and sit there, and then you're like, well, why did I buy it? Get it out and use it. Make something with it. Force yourself to be creative. Force yourself outside the box. And again, I wish that there was never a phrase outside the box, because frankly, there should have never been a box. Everybody needs to explore their creativity, and what we're going to do today, a few of you may go, I can't do that, but you can. I'm going to show you how easy it is, and there is no box, so you're not being outside the box. You're just learning something new. Now I've got my Stacey tape, and this is my self-adhesive tape. It's a double stick roll. I had not planned on doing Stacey tape. Oh, I can't even find where, oh, that's because that's where it's scored. I hadn't planned on doing my own adhesive, but when a manufacturer comes to you and says, we can give you a better quality, a longer, more of it in the roll for a lesser price, you absolutely have to pay attention. I mean, it would be foolish for me not to listen to them. But if you have Sook Wang tape, yes, you can do this exact same thing with Sook Wang tape. Is Sook Wang tape a good product? Yes, it's a wonderful product. Stacey tape, Simply Defined adhesive, just happens to be a little bit better. It's a stronger adhesive, you get more, and it's lower priced. Does that mean you should run out and buy it? only if you need it. If you have sukwang, use your sukwang. I can tell you that my liner on my tape is a little bit thicker, and that's been a big thing, a big plus. A lot of people really like that because it's easier to pull back. I can also tell you that because it is stronger, if you are using it to put mini albums together, you are gonna love Stacey tape. Do you need to have 6 inches? The 6 inch, this is the 5 inch. Do you need to have the big rolls? Well, I think so, but maybe not. We have it all the way from, this is a 1/4 inch. We have 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch, an inch, 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So we have lots and lots of sizes that are gonna work just for you. I am gonna go ahead and, I was feeling the score. I wonder if I've already. Okay, so I took my X-Acto blade and I just ran it straight down just to cut me off a piece. There we go. Now again, this is double-sided tape, so I need to put it down on something right away because it's sticky right away. This is sticky right away. So I'm just gonna put it right there on a piece of my 80-pound cardstock. Normally, we are using this to be a sticker. So usually we put it on the back side and we'll take a die and we'll die cut it and then we'll peel it off and it's an instant sticker. This time I'm gonna be using it a little bit differently. I'm not only gonna be using it with glitter, but I'm gonna be using it with ink. So I've got this right here and I'm going to take off what they call the liner, this piece right here, which means I am sticky. See that? It's sticky right this minute. Sticky, sticky, sticky. What is the one thing that won't stick to the sticky? The liner. So let's play with the liner a little bit. I'm going to put this aside and hopefully not get anything on it. But I've got so much stuff going on over here. And I think I'm gonna cut off this little piece right here because it's just annoying me a little bit. All right, I am going to take, not the frame die, I'm gonna take the decor die and I'm gonna cut the liner with the decor die. Okay, I'm gonna bring over my Big Shot machine. I have my magnetic platform. Do I need my precision base plate? No, the liner is so thin it's gonna go through just like butter. No problem. You can absolutely use your precision base plate if you want, but because the liner is so thin and it die cuts so beautifully, I don't need to use it. I've got my magnetic platform, I've got my cut plate, I've got my liner, I've got my die, and my do not cut plate, and I'm gonna send it on through. Creaks and cracks are okay, trust me. Now, if I really wanted to make sure that it cut through fine, I could take it and do a 1/4 turn and then send it on back through. Now I know it's cut fine, but we'll do it just for the heck of it. Now what you may think you're gonna get, you may think that this is what you're gonna get, but it's not. Let me grab all my little bits and pieces are gonna fall right out. This is what I'm left with. See how it did not cut? Did not cut my piece out. Wow, that's really thin over there. Did not cut my piece out. Just left, it cut the negative space out and left me this in my solid. So I didn't end up with this. I ended up with that. And this is a big difference. You know what? I think I'm gonna use this one because it's a little bit bigger. Now I'm gonna take all my little scraps and they just, I mean, really all fall out, and I'm gonna put them in the trash so it's not such a mess. I'm gonna scooch that over a little bit. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring back that piece of glitter, or the piece of paper that I have tape on. Remember, I took the liner off to die cut my decor die. Now what am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna lay it right back down on top of my, my sticky that's exposed. I'm gonna lay it right back down on top. And then I will take another piece, just a scrap piece, and I'm gonna press down. I'm going to use this to press down to put everything in place. Oh, I can see I didn't get one of my little doodads out. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it now. I'm gonna use this to press everything in place. So this is now become a mask. My piece of liner that I have die cut is now a mask, because the only thing that doesn't stick to the sticky is what peeled off the sticky, off of the Stacey tape. And being that my liner's a little bit heavier than the Sukwang, people tend to like that a little bit more. All right, so I think I've got it down. It's really important that it be down really nice and good, because then I'm gonna take my glitter. Can you see that on there? My mask is on there. I'm gonna take my glitter, and I think I'm gonna do it opposite of what I did before. And I'm going to put a little bit of my Nuvo glitter down. Can you do this with Elizabeth Craft polished silk? Absolutely. Can you use glitter Ritz? Absolutely. Do you need to use a fine glitter to do this? Yes, absolutely. What I can tell you though is that this bottle is $6.99, and it'll be on a YouTube Yummy. Comparative to what you get in the polished silk, and we love Elza's glitter, we do, but holy smokes, artichokes, you get so much more for the price. I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna move this glitter around, and where the adhesive is exposed because the mask didn't cover it, this glitter is going to stick into. Bring over my little funnel. My high-tech funnel, a piece of copy paper that has been creased down the center. So I'm just pushing it right in. Then I'm gonna take an inexpensive makeup brush. This is the e.l.f. line. Walmart has it, Target has it, some grocery stores have it. $1. Don't spend more than $1. Now some of you are saying, I've seen this before. And you're right, you have. This isn't a brand new technique. The difference is, with most dyes, to get it to work, you have to die cut out the entire piece. Lay the entire piece on your sticky, and then do your glitter, and then you have to fussy cut, or you have to do a square around it. You don't have the option of what we're doing, because the die is going to cut, most dies are going to cut the entire piece out. And then once you've pulled it up and you've put the glitter down, now you have to figure out, how are you going to get the shape out? Are you going to leave it a square? Are you going to leave it a circle? Are you going to get another die and do a different kind of frame around it? This is where Simply Refined differs. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my glitter back in my cute little jar. And the glitter goes a really, really long way, so if you wanted to buy one and get a cute little Tupperware and share it with a friend, you absolutely can do that. And I'm just funneling it back into my little jar. I'm gonna use my glitter cleanup cloth, which is good for glitter, it's good for embossing powder, it's good for coordinations paper when you need to get the lint up. This little thing picks up absolutely everything. This is just a piece of one. I had to get a new piece. This is a piece of one. This has been the one I've been using. And I would still use this one if I'm using it with paper, but for glitter, I just hacked myself off a new piece. It's huge. And is it a tack cloth? Yes. Does it have a tack cloth smell? No. All right, so this is where I'm at. Now I'm gonna pull off the mask. I'm not gonna throw this away. I'm gonna use this again in just a minute. I've pulled off the mask, and now what do I have? I have sticky. See, all of that is sticky. I need to do something with it. I'm going to grab another color of glitter. Now, if I wanted to, right now, I could take the center oval, cut that out of a mask, and put that in there if I wanted a third or another color. Let's just put that in there. So I have taken the top piece again. Actually, I took this one and just put that center in there. This is the same, the peel off, the liner from my sticky. And I just put the oval right in there and ran it through my Big Shot machine to cut that piece out right there. And then I'm just gonna press it down really good. I don't know if it's centered too straight, but that's okay. You're not gonna mind. I'm just gonna press it down really good. And then I'm gonna take a different color glitter. And again, you're saying, well, okay, but I've kind of seen this, but wait. So I'm gonna just dump it all over. And some of you are gonna have an aha moment. Those are the best. Again, it picks it right up. Take my finger. And just kind of rub it all over. Make sure you've got it all the way around. And then take your dollar brush again. Oh, didn't get that little white piece out. It's out now. Well, we'll make that. Okay, so I'm gonna brush it off. And because you've burnished it with your finger, it sets that glitter. It sets that glitter. Take your glitter cloth, wipe it right off your finger, and it's set that glitter in there. See, it didn't get on my finger. Now that I've set it in there, it's not messy. I'm gonna clean up my little glitter here, and I can either put it right back into my tub, or if it's not enough, I'm gonna let it go. So now I have this piece here. What do I wanna do with it? I'm gonna peel that off. It's going to expose the sticky. Let's grab a third color and drop it down. Move it around with my finger, kind of burnish it in. And when I mean burnish, I don't mean rub so hard. I mean just get it in there, brighten it up, get it down there so it's sticking. You're also not going to go so light that it barely even moves. Nice little firm pressure. Brush that off. And that's where I'm at so far. And you're going, but what is that going to make? Well, this is where Simply Refined comes in, and it's different than my Simply Defined dies, and it's different than most dies. Normally, you would now have to take this and either cut something around it or find a different shape to make it. But because I have the frame shape that coordinates, I can now layer that on top. and cut the piece out exactly how it is supposed to be. I can do that. I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine. And again, I'm going to use my magnetic platform. There's absolutely no reason to use the precision base plate. You don't need it for this. I'm going to line up my die with where my glitter is. Get everything centered. Put my top plate on. And this is where Simply Refine differs. If you don't have the decor die that doesn't have a cutting edge on the outside, you can't do this technique as easily. And it's done. Here, I did this one in, oh, I guess I did it in the exact same. The exact same. It's done. Because I was able to take this and cut this straight into the liner, it gave me room to work. Normally, if I had taken this piece here, if this was a piece of paper and I exposed my sticky and put this down to do it, how then am I going to cut out the shape again? You can't. You have to have it so that you cut the negative space here, do your glitter in however you want to do it, and then use the frame as your last part to actually cut the beautiful finished shape out. That is different. I love it. I love it because we've done this technique before, but then usually, like I said, we have to cut a square, or we'll put a label die around it to cut it out, or you have to fussy cut. And you also then don't have to line up as well. You don't have to worry about lining up because you're using a mask that gives you lots of room. Lots of room. You're not trying to line up a very detailed die on top of a background piece and making it all match and fit. No, this is so much easier having a die that doesn't have an edge around the outside. You're still going to achieve that final look because the last thing you're going to do is cut it with your frame die. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, I'm gonna do it one more time just to be sure, and I'm gonna go pretty quickly through it. So I've got my Stacey tape on my piece of paper. I'm gonna pull up my liner. I'm gonna put my sticky piece off to the side. I'm gonna pull over my Big Shot machine. I'm going to cut my decor die, and if you wanted to do a small one, you could use the small decor die. You don't have to do a big piece if you don't want to. So I'm gonna cut my little decor die. I'm not even gonna do the really big one. I'm gonna send it on through. All I'm cutting is the liner off the tape, which means anytime you use your Stacey tape or your soup wing tape, don't throw the liner away, keep it, put it in a plastic bag, and that way, because you just never know when you're going to want to make a mask, and they make the most beautiful masks. Think of all the dies you can now make a mask with. Pull out the pieces, pop out the little pieces, the fallout pieces. Let's punch some of those out. Again, it didn't cut out the whole shape. To get that whole shape, I would need to add the frame that goes with it. Bring back over my sticky, put this right on top, Get it down really good. Oh, here's my little piece. Make sure that you push it down so that it's all adhered to the tape. Decide what color glitter I want. Clean up with my little glitter cloth, but it's also good for embossing powder and everything, and coordinations paper. Give it a burnish. Take my dollar store brush. That's where I'm at right now. I can put this right back away. Filter it right back into my bottle. And again, if you have Elizabeth Crafts, if you have Glitter Ritz, anything that's a micro or ultra fine, this is going to work beautiful with. The Nuvo glitter, just because they give you so much, it's awesome. You can share it with a friend. So I've got that good to go. Now I can peel this piece up. And where those leaves and flowers are, it's ready for sticky. Throw some of my teal down. Move it around really good. Any place I didn't get my little white piece up, I'm just going to move them out of the way and they're going to become teal. It doesn't look like much, I know. Brush it off though. Brush it down, and now I'm going to die cut with my oval. Bring my Big Shot over. Put it down. Line my oval right up to it. So I'm on my magnetic platform. I've got one clear plate. I've got my paper with my glitter facing me and my oval die, my oval frame die. And I'm gonna roll it right on through. It doesn't matter that, oh, but it's gonna stick to my, Stacey. It's gonna stick to my, that's funny. Now you know I don't edit. It's gonna stick, that's okay. Since we don't care about the other part of it, we only care about the center. Oops. But since we only care about this piece, it didn't ruin it. So if you do it, it's not the end of the world. Look it's beautiful. But if you're gonna do that, make sure you glitter the whole thing all the way around so it doesn't stick to your plate. Oops. And then you can put that in the center of here. I mean, there's just so much that can be done. But because our dies, my dies do not have that extra outer edge on the decor dies, it really gives you a lot of options. I am going to move on. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm gonna move the glitter out of the way, and I'm gonna do one more technique using that mask, using my mask. So I'm just gonna get my glitter cloth and clean up just a hair bit. See, now you know they're not edited. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, my glitter cloth makes everything all better, all happy. All right, so let's find my mask again. Here's my mask. And this is the exact same mask I used to do this one. So remember, I laid it onto my tape, which is on my paper, put this down and put my glitter all over it. This time I'm just gonna grab a piece of paper, just a regular piece of my Simply Defined paper. And again, I'm not gonna worry about everything that's around it. You don't have to worry about everything that's around it, because unlike most masks, first, they don't come with the dies that fit exactly to it. And because most dies don't have a decor die that doesn't have an edge around it, you can't necessarily do this technique. It's a little bit harder. I'm gonna grab a piece of Stacey tape. And remember, I don't care what happens to the rest of my paper, which is a good thing. Otherwise, this one would not have gone well. Oh my gosh, see, blooper reel, but I don't stop. I just keep going. It is what it is. I'm gonna tape my mask down to my paper. You could use washi tape, you could use Stacey tape, you could use painter's tape. Makes no difference what you use. I am going to grab a few colors of Memento. Memento is an all-purpose dye-based ink. It works beautifully on just about everything. It is our go-to everyday ink. Can you use Tim Holtz Distress inks? Absolutely. Can you play with Lawn Fawn? Yes. What inks do you have in your collection? What do you have in your arsenal? Grab those and play with those, because I bet they're going to be just fine. Now, when you do this, you start with your lightest color first. Lightest color first, and I'm just using an inexpensive makeup sponge from Walmart. So I got, I think, 100 makeup sponge for $4.99. I would use a makeup sponge, not my Tim Holtz little tool, because I don't want to go this way. I need to dab because I'm playing with a mask. And I'm going to go in there and I am going to get my yellow all the way around. I am starting with my lightest color first. I can't believe I did that. Okay. So I've got my yellow in there. And really, you can make your yellow as dark as you like, as light as you like. This is where I'm at. And again, I am just on basic white paper. This is 80 pounds Simply Defined paper. Then I'm gonna turn my little sponge over and I'm gonna grab some of my orange. And again, I'm just gonna kind of blot. There's really no rhyme, there's really no reason. And you would say, but Stacey, all you're doing is masking and inking. Well, yes, that is all I'm doing until you add this piece. Ah ha 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 ha. Because again, most dyes don't let you cut a mask like this and still be able to cut out a shape like this. Just Simply Refined. Now I'm gonna get a little bit of my darkest color and just kind of hit it. And if I'm happy, I'm happy. I could go back and add a little bit of yellow if I wanted to add a little more yellow. And you're saying, well, okay, that's where I'm at. Not very pretty, I know. But I'm gonna take off my mask and look at what I have. And most of you are saying, well, yes, I know how a mask works, but most masks don't come with a frame that then lets you cut out the actual shape too. And again, if I wanted to, I could take, oh, do I have a mask here, a small one? I could take a piece, oh yeah, I could take this piece and I could center it. I don't know if I'll be centered, but I could center it if I want. Let's move this out of the way. Oh, I can see it much better. And just add a little bit of color if I wanted to get it in there. Add my little flower. I could take and make, oh, let's do that. I could take and make my own color. Let's take the yellow. And let's just make a whole bunch of yellow over on this side of the paper. So I'm just adding yellow to my paper. That's all I'm doing, is making a yellow background. And then let's take a little bit of my orange, and we'll add some orange in there. And then maybe a little bit of my red, maybe a little more of my yellow. Okay, so I just kind of made a mishmash. Then I could take my oval die right here, and let's cut that, and let's cut the frame all at the same time. So I'm going to push these out of my way. I've just made my own background color. That's all I've done, is made my own background. I'm going to bring this on over. I'm still working on my magnetic platform. I have my cut plate, my paper down, just my oval die that's just going to cut out an oval, but I'm going to take my frame die and I'm going to line it right up. Line it right up. And then I'm going to send them through. Little creaks and cracks are okay. I do not need my precision base plate. I am not cutting anything intricate. I'm cutting both of them at the exact same time. Well, that was a nice easy cut. If I can get my little loop-de-loo out of my loop-de-loo. There we go. Get rid of that. I could now put that on top of there. And then I could take and just cut the decor die out of plain white and layer that on top of there. And you have a whole new look. This is stenciled now. You have a whole new look for your die. A whole new look. All done easy peasy, and using the masks that you can make with either the liner from your Scrapbooking tape or the liner from your Stacey tape. When you use this, especially if you have the larger rolls and you don't need the liner for anything, keep it, store it. It makes masks. I used this mask for the glitter. And I used it for inking. And now if I want to use it again, all I have to do is take a handy wipe, a little wet wipe, and wipe it off. And all the ink's gonna come off and you can use it again. It's such a different look, but it gives you so much more function to your dies. And it gives you a new way to use your glitter. And it's all because the dies don't have that extra cutting edge on the two decor pieces. It gives you a frame and a decor piece so that you can do all your glitter, you can do all your stenciling and still cut the beautiful shape that the die was meant to do. Oh, I hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot. You may have to watch this more than once, but it is not hard. I will go through just very quickly one more time. I've got from the Stacey tape, from the liner, I die cut out my decor die. Cut it right out, and this is what it left me. I took it and I taped it right down to a piece of white cardstock, whether it be simply defined cardstock, whosever cardstock you have, and it doesn't have to be white, it's whatever you're working with, whatever you want it to be. I taped it down. Of course, there we go. I took some of my inks that I have at home already, and I started with my lightest color, and I dabbed. And the reason you're dabbing is because you don't want those little curly cues and things of that nature to move around. So I'm just dabbing. I go into another color. You can do it all one color. You don't have to use 3 or 4 colors. You're making your own background. And I'm dabbing, and then a darker color. And because these are mementos, they blend beautifully. But Tim Holtz is going to do a great job. Any dye-based ink is going to do a beautiful job. Then I peel it right off. I can save this and use it later. Take my little pieces of washi tape or Stacey tape or whatever it is you're using, because I don't care about the rest of it. I only care enough about being able to put my frame die around it and send it through my Big Shot machine. Magnetic platform, clear plate, paper, die. Line it up. Because you're on the magnetic platform, it makes it easy to line it up. Do not cut plate on the top. Send it on through. Little creaks and cracks are okay. And it's beautiful. And then you can do whatever you want. You can take the stamp and you could ink up the stamp. I don't have a block in front of me, but you could ink up the stamp. I recommend using a block and a stamp mat, but you'll get the gist. And I could stamp it up. It's whatever makes you happy. I could have taken and cut out and put that over the top. I could leave it just the way it is. It's whatever you want to do, but you have such function with them. It's not just about die cutting, it's about using your glitters and your inks and making masks and exploring what more there is to do with your dies. Oh, okay, I bet this is really long. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap up. And so, sorry folks, if you haven't seen how to do this, go back to one of my earlier YouTubes. I promise you'll find one on how to use a squishy and a knock-knock to get that look. But I have so many samples to show you and so much to do. So there is 4 sets. I showed you the first one. I'm trying to push all this out of the way. I showed you the first one, which is Sunshine Vines. Super pretty. That's the one we used today. Then we have the next set. Let me get all of my stuff. Man, I create a mess. The next one is Sympathy Bouquet. So the sentiments has with sympathy and in our thoughts. And again, all of this is out of one set. One pack of Simply Refined did all of this. 4 dies. You were able, even the little white pieces down there, all of that came out of one set. Then I have Elegance Frame. This one's my favorite. I love it. It's my absolute favorite. Again, all the little curly cues, all the little pieces, all from just this one set. And this is Elegance Frame. The stamps are included. And then last but not least, she had to use the wings on both sides. So not only do you get everything that you see here out of the one set, and this is birthday butterfly. So not only do you get everything that you see in that one set that I'm showing you, but then you close the flaps and you get all of this too out of that one set. talk about bang for your buck. So we have Birthday Butterfly, we have Elegance Frame, we have Sympathy Bouquet, and we have Sunshine Vines. And those are the 4 sets that make up the Simply Refined collection for November, called Moments. I'm gonna move those out of your way. And then just quickly, Elena wanted to show how you can interact and interchange. So she took different dies from different sets. If it's a different color, that means it came from a different set. So the pink came from a different set than the blue. And she just wanted to show how everything can interchange and interact. That the centerpiece here did not come with this set here. And this centerpiece here did not come with the main decor die. She's kind of done them over here too, so you can see everything's meant to interchange and mix and mingle. Now I have tons of samples, and I know this is probably running long, so I'm gonna start with Claire. And we've got Claire's card here. It's beautiful. Claire went very shabby chic this time. And here we go. Very shabby chic for Claire. And then we have a beautiful with sympathy card. I don't want to get it dirty. My hands are inky and the card's perfectly white, and she has embossed the with sympathy, and it's just lovely. She's used my bedazzled shimmer paper for all of this. Then she did a mixed media. Look at my Elegance Frame. She thought it looked like a Japanese vase, and with all the bamboo coming out, and she made the canvas, and it's absolutely gorgeous. She's used vintage glam in the back. Absolutely gorgeous. And then she also did a layout using my dies here and up here, and did a very vintagey, vintage glam, shabby chic layout of, bath. There we go. Beautiful. So that's from Claire. Then we have Michelle, who had a totally different take on it. And when Michelle saw the die, she thought it looked like Cinderella's carriage. And she's used Clearly Glitter over a blue cardstock. My Clearly Glitter, which takes any cardstock and makes it glittery. And she said, that looks like Cinderella's carriage. So if you can imagine, these are the same dies interpreted 2 different ways. Is that not incredible how diverse the staff is, how diverse the SMS girls are? Then we go into Kathy. And Kathy has used a ton of my glimmer sheets to do. How beautiful is that? You Are My Sunshine. And it just shines. It's just so happy. She's used my bedazzled on this one. Everything has got a shimmery, shiny finish to it. Again, a whole nother take on that same die, only these came from a different die. These are the corners on a different die that she cut off and used as corners there. How beautiful is that? And Kathy's last, and again, she's used my bedazzled paper for almost everything, and it just adds just the right amount of oomph. So pretty. So that is Kathy. Next, we're gonna go to Doris. And Doris also has done an amazing job. Look at the little gift bag she did. And she's got the die as the closure and your little name to write there. That's the center dies. How cute is that? And then she did a stand-up using glimmer sheets and bedazzled and simply refined. Who wouldn't love to get that as a birthday card? And again, and see, she used, instead of cutting it out, she used, like we did for the mask, and she backed it. How beautiful. It makes its own card front. She popped them up just a little bit. Just beautiful. And then Get Well Soon, also done with glimmer sheets. Can you see the glimmer in there? Get Well Soon. She embossed that and popped it up, all using Simply Refined dies. I love this. I love this. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The coloring on it with the glimmer sheets are just beautiful. And then her thank you. Again, she just used it as a little doily, just as the top. You don't have to use the entire die. You can take bits and pieces of it, and it works beautifully. And then she did this layout where she used them as a mask. She took it and laid it down on the paper and then misted and spritzed and sprayed, because you can do that. You can use them as a mask, especially if you're using Stacey tape, because then you can save the masks. Don't ever throw that liner away. So this is Doris. Then we have Sharon, who also has gotten into the glimmer sheets. How pretty is that? Remember those corners from a few cards ago? They were cut from this die. She just cut them right off for the other card. And here she just took a Sharpie and colored the flowers a darker pink right on top of the glimmer sheets. And then we have Yvette. And Yvette, I showed one of her cards as one of the sneak peeks. Yummy, isn't it? And Yvette also made, I know Yvette has more, I don't know where they are. Yvette also made the frame. And again, she took the corners off of the other die and used them right on the frame. So pretty. And this is just a dollar frame from Michael's that she covered it with my bedazzled paper. Then we have Elena. I'm not sure how I'm going to get this in here, but Elena made, well, Elena always makes phenomenal. She made a luminary. I don't know what this is called in her country, but holy smokes artichokes. Is that absolutely gorgeous? And on every side is a different Simply Refined die. And it hangs. I wish I could get a better view of it, but I mean, it's magnificent. It truly is simply gorgeous. Where they come up with the thought of what to do just astounds me, and it motivates me to do more because they do so much. And then Elena also made so it sits up like that when you give it. And when you close it, and she used all the little bits and pieces. She just cut up the die to make the front. And then when somebody opens it, it sits open. Beautiful, isn't it? Last but not least, we have Belinda. Now, Belinda took it an extra step further. And if you've waited to see these, if you've hung with me, I really appreciate it. Because Belinda does the most amazing, her mind creates in a way that my mind doesn't even think to work. What you need to know is that she took, and some of these are fussy cut out from paper. Is that gorgeous? But she took my bedazzled paper and she printed on it. She took it and she put it in her printer and printed on it. No heat set. Printed right on it. So that the next two that you see, that little girl is printed right on bedazzled paper to give her a little bit of a shimmer and a shine. How wonderful is that? Is that gorgeous? You've got foils with the Simply Refined, and last but not least, her mirror. I'm afraid to turn it over, but ooh, there's her mirror. But look at the back. Again, all done with the dies, and the little girl is printed, actually printed on bedazzled paper. All done with Simply Refined. It's gorgeous. Who wouldn't want to get this as a gift? I think it's just magnificent. And the thought to print, I didn't think about that. I didn't even know about it. Didn't give it a thought, and she did it, and it was beautiful. All right, I'm gonna tilt up. I am afraid to look how long this is. It is what it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Where are you going to get all of these great products? You're going to get them at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Remember, this is Simply Refined. The collection is Moments. When it's gone, and this is the last set of ovals for a while, and this is the last set of Simply Refined for 2015. All right, you guys, it's me, Stacey. Thanks for hanging in there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I taught you something new, and that you say, box, psh, what box? All right, I'll see you next time, and I hope you're a winner chicken dinner. Bye.